Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. What's going on in the markets? Let's take a look at some of the underlying market dynamics before we get into the price action. Open interest taking a leg up or down. Would you guess? Well, it looks like a slight tick up from the low after we shaved off a bit, almost down to 8 billion. Funding rates are still paying to go long. And what is the COBC letter saying today? Well, there is now a 26% chance that the Fed will raise interest rates next week. This is the first Fed meeting since they started raising rates where there is not a clear consensus. Base case still shows 64% chance of at least one rate hike by July. Fed meeting is huge. We got CPI day. It's the 13th and the 14th. If inflation comes out extremely hot, I think, well, alongside the stock market making almost a parabolic rally here, finally pulling back a little bit after gapping up. And where's the gap coming in? Is the gap going to get filled? For NASDAQ, I mean, overall, this still bodes well. I still think this is a bit of AI hype, but you got Deutsche Bank economists saying S&P is going to head up to 4,500. Can we grab any targets at 4,500? I'm sure we can. 4,500 would be this next major pivot up here using our little Fibonacci retracement tool. After kind of being in this massive consolidation, bit of a far stretch to call right now. Yeah, maybe we do tag 43.91, but I'm willing to bet, the Fed may come out and surprise us with a little bit of a tougher rate hike than expected. So let's see what CPI day and the 13th and the 14th, the rate hike. What's going to happen between now and then? Well, a lot can happen. So let's follow up on Bitcoin's price action. Starting it out with the 4-hour, which we did discuss, I believe the last video, we talked about the bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame coming back, I believe, from this little pivot right here. Where would it be? Right here. And we said, look, multiple drives. Here's a fourth one. And very likely we revisit the bottom side of the range. It is whether we break this area at 25.5 or not is what is, the impending doom, so to speak. Let's see here if I can see anything on the 4-hour. So if I'm looking at this 4-hour blindly right now, which pretty much I am, you're going to look for a closure above this pivot or below this pivot to get your next decent sized move. With the silver cross present and rejecting off the green 55, as the stock market has been, putting a rally again, Bitcoin doesn't seem to be participating in much of the rally. We did talk about the dollar on the daily time frame, that it was likely to cool off. Looks like we put in a bit of a double top, and I am sticking with my claim as long as we are making higher lows above this green box. Likely the dollar bullishness does continue. Below that box, it's game over. And yeah, Deutsche Bank's probably right. $4,500 S&P is in the cards. But if we do have the low liquidity month that we expect, I think the dollar will remain bullish. Other than that, following up on the 3-day time frame, which volatility has, kind of rolled back over as we suspected. The 2-day has done the same thing. It's kind of just dancing around here. The daily is continuing to the upside. Momentum is still crossed down as long as we close below 26,832 today. So we are very, very close to getting that closure above that. And personally, I would, now volatility is compressed on the 4-hour. So the next 4-hour volatility expansion, probably going to get a decent size move. Right now, everything is angled to the downside. And to me, this does look like a bit of a sell despite the stock market rallying. The dollar is picking itself back up after a big down day yesterday, putting in a bit of a bounce, but it has some room to go down. So, have to keep a close eye on this as well. And as volatility expands here, well, 104.22 seems to be the pivot. We need to get back above there. So another point for the bulls. There. Checking in on funding rates and the fear and greed index stuck at a neutral. So we've been neutral here for quite a bit of time, it seems like. Not much to say there. Let's check in on Mr. Ethereum. Ethereum kind of holding the line in the sand there. Still need this last pivot, to go here. probably good enough for me at, I think that moved it up to 1792. 1792, we've been talking about 1750 as the daily time frame pivot. Once we lose this area, actually this shoulder, we've just been raising it up slowly but surely. Volatility is now kind of reset here and momentum is to the downside. We'll cross back up above 1895. So again, kind of that pivot right there. The 4 hour giving us anything, again, very similar structure to Bitcoin. We got any divergences here? Not particularly anything massively present. On the bearish side, if we do confirm this as a local high, you've got lower highs coming all the way through. So nothing there. I'm not even going to do the 15-minute. So I'd expect Bitcoin to kind of rule the market here. And whatever Bitcoin does, altcoins are going to do more to the upside and to the downside. Checking out ETH Bitcoin, still looking fairly bullish. So point for the ETH bulls out there. Tether dominance coming down on the shorter term time frame. So maybe putting in a little bounce for some altcoins. Total market cap, kind of doing whatever Bitcoin is doing. And what did I want to check out on? Not ETH Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin dominance here, 48. Are we going to put in a temporary high here? On the daily, still looks bullish. I would, as Benjamin Cowan was saying, expect at some point this does break bullish. We're kind of at grinding against the top side of the range. Typically that will resolve it with an explosive move to the upside. Bodes well for Bitcoin. Let's check in on Pepe coin. What is this guy doing? After we called a pretty good sell up there, Pepe on the daily seems to be like it wants to confirm a low here and kind of a closure here or higher would bode well for bulls, I'd say. But I'd still be waiting for a break of this trend line here, which it looks like we're about to get it here today, and then wait for the back test. And other than that, this one on the 4 hour getting a slight rejection. And I think that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I will catch up with you guys on Monday. Have yourself a blessed and highly favored weekend. Take care.